everyone, and welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Happy Monday. I hope that your day has been awesome so far and absolutely fantastic, and that everything is going well. And I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you got things accomplished if that was your goal, had fun, relaxed. I got to relax kind of maybe a little bit. I did take a nap on Sunday, so yeah, I feel like I had a good weekend, so I hope that you had a good one too. If you did not, just know that there are so many weekends to come. There are so many opportunities to have a good weekend, to look forward to the next one, but not so much so that you are ignoring everything that's going on during the week. I feel like if I continue to talk about this, I will go off on a tangent. Anyway, happy Monday. We are back with another week of daily podcasts. I think that I started to develop kind of a theme for every week. And so at the top of every podcast, I will tell you the theme, and maybe that'll help more directionally, knowing like what you're getting into. Maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll get some feedback on it and we'll figure it out. However, this week we are talking about, I'm going to keep the theme kind of within the category of anxiety. And so let's just jump right in. Today, for Monday, we are going to talk about how to crush your fears. And I know that's one of the most popular things. I did a quick search online. It has so many articles and so many videos and so many everything on people teaching you like how to crush your fears and just take everything on. And so I just wanted to give you a brief rundown of things that I think would help you crush your fears, because as you know, this podcast is not very long because I want you to be able to get in, get out, use the information, and move on with your life. So first, I want to say that you need to learn to recognize your fears and acknowledge them. So you want to crush fears. Like, let's say for me, I have a huge fear of spiders. And I know that not everyone's fears are going to be of like an animal. You could have a fear of rejection. I definitely have that. I could have a fear of not, a really giant fear of not amounting to anything in your life. Believe me, I kind of have that fear. I'm moving away from it more and more each day. I'm definitely always working on it. But whatever fear it is, whether it's something small as a spider or something as big as not feeling like you're going to be able to amount to anything, or you don't feel like you're ever going to move up in your job or be able to save enough money to get the house that you want, or maybe you have a fear that you'll never be in a permanent relationship, like whatever it is, you just need to recognize those fears and acknowledge them. You need to tell yourself, okay, I have a fear of this thing. Because if you continue to tell yourself that no, you're not afraid of not getting married, you're not afraid of not getting your dream job, you're not afraid of being able to be financially stable, then you're lying to yourself. And also, you're not going to make any gain or steps forward to actually accomplishing those things and actually having those things happen. So you need to recognize your fears and acknowledge them. Next, don't let fear isolate you. Fear, it doesn't want you to get help. It doesn't want you to feel better. It wants to keep you kind of in the fetal position in your mind, and maybe for some people physically in their actual body. It doesn't want you to branch out and try to figure out how to fix it, how to get rid of this emotion. And it's an emotion that we all fear, and sometimes it can be fleeting and sometimes it can stick around forever, which would be anxiety. Because sometimes, you can have that fear like right before something happens, you get a rush and it's like fear but also excitement. And I get that sometimes right before I sing for worship at church. I get really excited, but then I have this tiny bit of fear of like, oh my goodness, what if something goes wrong? But I just tell myself it's going to be fun. It's been great so many other times in the past, and if something goes wrong, we'll figure it out. You got to have that mindset of like, you're going to figure it out. But yeah, you don't want to let fear isolate you, because it doesn't want you to get help. So to not let it isolate you, you need to be sharing your fears with people in your life that you actually trust, that you can actually talk to. And again, going back to the first one, you need to recognize your fears. You need to acknowledge them. You need to even go a step further and say them out loud. I feel like saying things out loud to yourself, and I'm not saying you have to do this like in the middle of the street where everyone can see you. You just need to say them out loud, maybe even to yourself, or in the bathroom, or in your bedroom, or in a walk-in closet. I don't know. Wherever you want to be, so that you can just acknowledge, I have this fear. I need to figure out how to push past this fear, and I need to let other people into my life to help me deal with this fear so it doesn't isolate me, take over your mind, take over everything in your life, and just continually to drag you down and not let you accomplish anything in your life. Also, you need to push through the fear with stubbornness and grit. So sometimes, I feel like a lot of the time when there's a fear, like for a spider, there's definitely a point where, my husband wasn't home, my daughter wasn't home. Not that my daughter would really do anything about a spider. She'll definitely go get the vacuum when I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a spider, go get the vacuum. So other than that, she's not going to do anything because she's just as scared as I am. But if there's a spider and there's no one home and I just am freaking out and I don't know what to do, I'm going to have to push past that fear, go get the vacuum myself, pray to God that when I come back, the spider is still there so I can vacuum it up and move on with my day. But then let's say there's other fears. So I definitely have a fear of rejection all the time. And recently I submitted myself into this kind of like contest or search to be affiliated with a brand that I really love. And the whole time I was dealing with up and down emotions of feelings of rejection. I did not make it past the first round, which is fine. It's fine. I try to lean back when things don't work out the way that I would want them to. In that moment, I try to lean back into the thought of, God probably has something bigger and better planned for me, so I just need to rest in that and know that greater things are happening. Or maybe, he just knows that it's not going to work out right now and it's for the best, so I have to just have faith and believe that that is true. But I have a fear of rejection, and so with that, a lot of times I won't put myself out there for like contests or things like that, or trying out for something. Making videos and podcasts and helping people online is totally different because it comes from my heart, and I don't have a fear of rejection because people that are ready to help themselves will take that help. Whether they're not, then they won't, and that doesn't bother me because I just know that it's just natural human nature. But for this contest, I really put myself out there, and I had to push past with stubbornness and grit and just make my video and continue to put myself out there online in a different way that I don't normally do because I wanted to push past that fear. And if I hadn't, I wouldn't have, even tried. And even though I didn't make it through, you might think, oh, well, you didn't even make it through. It wasn't even worth it. But it was worth it because it taught me a lot of lessons, and it also helps me to continually get over the fear of rejection if I continually am faced with it, because then it helps me in different points in my life to know how to push through it in different ways. I hope that makes sense. So it was actually really beneficial, and it's important just to sometimes you just got to go for it. You got to push through. Even if you're going to fall on your face, you're going to gain so much strength and wisdom and experience from that it's going to be really beneficial to you for the future. Lastly, you want to focus on the task at hand and not the overall outcome. So, for my example, for the fear of rejection, I had to focus on the task of okay, I have to make a video. That's one of the requirements. I had to make a video talking about who I am and what I'm all about. And so it was really important for me to focus on making that one video and not thinking of everything that was encompassing the whole thing, not thinking about, okay, making the video and the daily posts and making sure that I tag the right people and, keeping this image all together and this, that, and the other, and trying to, embody what I think that they want. I don't want to overwhelm. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with everything that needs to get done. You want to just take it one task at a time, especially if things overwhelm you so easily. And believe me, I understand that. I've been there. And I'm there all the time. So it's more important to just focus on the task at hand, not the overall outcome, because then you break it down. And I think that's the way you should approach everything in life, anxiety, problems or not, because you're more focused to really give that task the detail-oriented, laser focus that it needs, and then move on to the next thing, and then it could all pan out. I understand looking at it from a bird's eye view of the whole project at hand and make sure everything flows together, but that can't be your view the whole time, or else everything that needs the attention to detail won't get it if you're just always looking at the whole thing. So I hope that all of these things helped. I hope they were beneficial to you on how to crush your fears. I hope that you just take this Monday by storm, whether it is the morning time, the afternoon, or the evening, whatever it is. I hope your day is absolutely fantastic. Just keep pushing, keep moving forward. Tell yourself that it's all for a purpose. You may not know what that purpose is, but it's for an amazing purpose to better your life in general. Everything is. So have a great day. Happy Monday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.